If your favorite stocks went on sale tomorrow, Apple down 15%, Palantir down 20%, Tesla down 35%, would you be excited or terrified? I'm about to show you why a major market downturn can be the best thing for you if you're prepared. Let's get into it. So if we come over to a chart of the S&P 500, you can see volatility is a feature. It's not a bug. It's part of what we have in the markets. Now, volatility, these big swoons, they create some panic. Sometimes, well, oftentimes, even the news sources will panic. They'll say market's in turmoil, and they'll try to instill fear because people will tune in if there's a big news story and there's something grandiose, right? We don't want to give in to our fears. We don't want to panic sell. We want to take advantage of volatility, not have it take advantage of us. We know who this is. That's the great Warren Buffett. Hit the east side of the LBC on a mission trying to find Mr. Warren B. If you plan to eat hamburgers for the rest of your life, he says, should you hope for higher or lower prices? His point here is that if you're a net buyer of stocks, if you're going to buy stocks next week, next month, next year, do you want their prices going up or down while you're accumulating, while you're buying those shares? Well, it stands to reason that buying at a discount allows you to buy more shares with the same amount of money, and that's important. That can compound at a greater rate. So I ran two scenarios, stock A versus stock B. If we had $100,000 to invest, either stock A just simply stays at $100 per share, stock B falls to 75. Obviously, if we bought 1,000 shares at $100 per share, we've invested $100,000. If it falls to 75 and then we invest the $100,000, now we get to buy 1,333 shares. We collected 33% more shares. We were able to accumulate a larger position. If both of these now average a plus 10% return over 10 years, scenario A ends up with just shy of $260,000 and scenario B ends up just shy of $345,000. Almost $100,000 more by simply accumulating more shares. So obviously, your dollars stretch further if you can buy more shares. And if the stock price goes down, we get to accumulate more of a position. This is important for a few different reasons. One is the capital appreciation. Our value goes up if we own more shares and the stock makes that run versus owning fewer shares. Sounds pretty obvious. Well, have you also considered the importance of dividends? For example, if I were to look at the gold market, it has zipped higher over the past couple of years. We can see that gold just back in 2024 was around $2,000 an ounce, and today it's around $5,000 an ounce, more than doubled in value. Of course, there are many companies that are operating gold mines, and if the price of gold goes up, their expenses have not doubled. They are not paying their employees 1 year to the next, 1.5 times, 2 times more than what they were paying them before. They might pay the employees a little bit more. Their expenses might go up a little, but not by this amount. So what does that mean? That means that gold mining companies are basking in the sunlight. They get the advantage of higher profit margins because if Barrick Mining, for example, if it costs them, let's say, $1,400 of expense per ounce of gold that they mine, they have a certain expense to that. Well, that expense might go up, and next year it might cost them $1,500 on average, or a little bit more. But if the price of gold goes from $2,000 to $5,000, you can see the profit margin difference. Here, they were making $600 of profit per ounce of gold that they pulled out of the ground. Now their profit has skyrocketed with the increase of the commodity. Now they're making $3,500 of profit per ounce of gold, as an example. With bigger profits, come bigger opportunity. Obviously, great for us as an investor and a good reason why the stock is up so much. People understand that this stock went from 18 to 48 because the profit margins are going to be expanding. This company is going to be hitting on all cylinders, bigger revenues, bigger earnings, and probably bigger dividends. Dividends are the payments they make to shareholders. They divide up the profit and they send that profit out. Now, we were having a discussion about this very stock on the Cash Flow Academy podcast, and Andy was talking about his son David, who had acquired a stake in Barrick Mining back in the 20s, and now it's gone up a lot. Now, that's good for a couple of reasons. His dividend yield, his investor yield, is better than anyone buying the stock today, right? David, who's only a junior in high school, buying the stock in the 20s, has a dividend yield that's twice as much, more than twice as much what people are getting today. Why? Because they're collecting the same amount of dividend, but their investment costs are very different. Let me show you the numbers. So here we can see the dividends for Barrick Mining. I'm just on a free website, Yahoo Finance. This is Barrick Mining's numbers. You can see how much they pay out in dividends per year. And I'll circle that here. That is $1.68 in dividends per share. And it says, well, that's a dividend yield of 3.58%. But not everyone is collecting 3.58%. This depends on what you paid for the stock. This dividend yield is based on if you bought the stock right now at the higher, more expensive price, right? If I buy the stock today at $47 per share, that's very different than David and myself and some other people that owned it down in the 20s, right? So if we bought it at, let's say, $23 per share, both of these are owners of the stock. Both are shareholders. Both get the dividend paid to them. And the dividend per year is $1.68. But look at the difference in yield. If David is collecting $1.68 in dividends per year, divided by his cost, let's say it's $23 per share, his yield is 7.3% annually. So right now, his dividend yield, if he bought it at $23 per share, he's collecting 7.3% return on invested capital. That's how much the dividend is yielding. The person that's buying today is getting 3.58%. Notice the huge difference. What's important here is that David bought when it was a tremendous value. He bought at lower prices. And so as the stock price has gone up, the dividend has gone up as well. He still bought it at the lower price. A great example of this is, again, Warren Buffett. When Warren Buffett invested in Coca-Cola stock, he put $1 billion into the company. $1 billion with a B, right? So Warren Buffett, he operates in T, well, not T's, but he operates in B's. The market cap of Berkshire Hathaway is almost a T, almost $1 trillion. But when he first bought Coke, which is symbol KO, he put $1 billion roughly into it. He collects in dividends per year almost $1 billion per year in dividends. So his effective dividend yield is almost 100%. He's almost collecting the same amount that he originally invested being paid to him every year in dividends. Of course, he still has billions. Now it's billions of dollars in the stock. Why? Because the stock has doubled and doubled again and doubled again and doubled again. And so now he has tens of billions of dollars in the stock, and he's collecting $1 billion in dividends per year. Everyone's dividend yield is different based on the price they paid. And the lower the price, the better. Because if I can buy it low and the stock appreciates, and if it can raise its dividend, if that dividend, very importantly, We want to own companies that are raising their dividends, that are paying out more to shareholders. Who are the companies that are most likely to raise their dividends? Well, Warren Buffett has made his choice. His choice is Occidental Petroleum, one of the biggest investments that Berkshire Hathaway has made in recent years is Occidental Petroleum. Interestingly enough, not a great investment to this point. If we look at where Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway's average cost is, I think it's a little higher than current prices. They've been investing in this for the past few years, and you can see that the stock has not done tremendously well. But we can also see that, well, oil prices at 60, if the company's still making some money, what would that mean for a company like this if oil went to 120, 140, 160 a barrel? Again, that's not something that's going to happen in the very short term, but don't you want to do your investing where you can get more shares at a cheaper price? Now, you'd want to do fundamental homework on Occidental Petroleum or any energy stock. You'd want to do fundamentals on gold mining operations. If your shorter term mindset, I would feel much more confident with gold miners. I think gold miners are going to be more stable, stronger for a period of time because the precious metal price is so high. Oil stocks, they're a little bit more of a value proposition. They're a little bit more of maybe a diamond in the rough. Maybe we invest, we zig while others zag, right? We try to find value in opportunities that are unloved and not as fully embraced. So the idea here is that when the market or any sector or any area that we can invest in has gone down, first, we need to do our fundamental homework and make sure it's a great business. Second, if we can buy a lot more shares at lower prices and accumulate a bigger position, if we do in time get the big boom out of that stock, it's going to be much, much in our favor if we've bought it low at those prices because our dividend yields will be significantly better. Our capital appreciation will be significantly better, will outpace. So sometimes you want to, as a trader, you want to buy high. You want to chase stocks that are going up because your short-term mindset is in play. Sometimes we look for diamonds in the rough because we put on our investor hat. We say, where's the value? Where's the opportunity longer term? So if you found this video helpful, make sure you check out this next video where we talk about boom and bust cycles, how to profit from consolidations via the options market. And if you want to prepare your portfolio for these opportunities, make sure you check out the Cash Flow Academy because that's exactly what we teach. The link is in the description. We'll see you in the next video.